Hello, and welcome to the I-20 Reeves County Virtual Public Meeting hosted by the Texas Department of Transportation's Odessa District. This is a pre-recorded presentation. TxDOT appreciates your interest and involvement in this proposed project, and we thank you for your time and attention today. Your input is critical to the project development process and to help shape TxDOT's decision-making. This presentation and accompanying materials are available online at TxDOT.gov as of December 3rd, 2020, and they're available for comment through December 18th, 2020. Comments received during this period will be included, along with TxDOT's responses, in a comment response matrix for the Virtual Public Meeting Summary. The Virtual Public Meeting Summary is typically posted to the TxDOT.gov website several months after a public meeting is held. You will be provided information at the close of this presentation on how to provide your comments. Today's presentation includes an introduction of the project, our identified concerns and characteristics of the I-20 corridor, proposed improvements, information on how you can submit your comments, and our planned next steps. Given the unique circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with TxDOT's commitment to protecting public health, TxDOT is conducting this virtual public meeting online to slow the spread of COVID-19. This online format is being conducted in lieu of an in-person public meeting. The presentation will cover the same information we would have shared at an in-person public meeting. However, the comment process for this virtual public meeting will be somewhat different from what we normally conduct at an in-person meeting and will be explained at the end of the presentation. Thank you for helping us slow the spread of COVID-19 by engaging with us online. All project information, including this presentation, can be found on the TxDOT website. Visit TxDOT.gov and enter a keyword search I-20 Reeves County. The webpage includes virtual meeting instructions and information regarding special accommodations, this pre-recorded presentation, project information, layouts, environmental constraints, and other information, the process for submitting comments, and project team contact information. TxDOT is in the early development phases of a multi-year process to bring improvements to the I-20 corridor in Reeves County. This study and the comments you provide will assist TxDOT in developing a long-term program of phased priorities to improve this vital corridor. Currently, this project has no construction funding identified with which to implement the proposed improvements under consideration. Through this development process, we are looking at all opportunities for achieving the project goals. The solutions presented tonight are proposals, and these proposals are subject to refinement or change as the project development continues. The proposed I-20 project would begin at approximately 0.3 of a mile west of County Road 419, also known as Shaw Road, and would extend approximately 16.5 miles through Pecos and would end at approximately 1.5 miles east of County Road 117, also known as Collie Road. The project location map shown here is available for download or viewing on the project website and contains a legend to help explain the meaning of the various symbols shown on the drawing. The problem this project seeks to address stems from the historic traffic growth on I-20. The average traffic growth rate on I-20 in Reeves County for the years 2014 to 2018 is 20.36%. This is an exceptional growth rate for a rural interstate. Future growth along this section of I-20 is predicted to be between 5 and 10% each year over the next 20 years. As an aging roadway, the interstate is in need of upgrades to accommodate this large traffic growth as well as the diverse vehicle types. This growing traffic, combined with the aging infrastructure, is creating safety and mobility issues that we are seeking to address. With this project, TxDOT aims to improve the infrastructure and life of the interstate and frontage roads, improve safety and mobility, and enhance accessibility for the community with the following proposed improvements: reconstructing the main lanes and frontage roads, reconfiguring several I-20 interchanges, adding a new I-20 interchange at Evergreen Street, adding new frontage roads where none exist today to create continuous frontage roads through Pecos, reconfiguring several interstate ramps, improving the minimum vertical clearance of bridges, and converting the existing two-way frontage roads to one-way. Let's take a closer look at some of these problems. The I-20 main lanes in Reeves County carry a large volume of cars and trucks. This volume ranges from 11,000 vehicles per day west of Pecos to more than 22,000 vehicles per day east of town. The traffic volume grows incrementally larger from the west side of Pecos to the east side. Compounding this large volume of traffic is the fact that 35% of the total traffic on I-20 near Pecos is commercial truck traffic. One of the studies conducted for this project evaluated the mobility of traffic through the I-20 corridor. This study identified long intersection delays and poor level of service at 3 interchanges during peak hours. Those interchanges are at State Highway 17, Country Club Drive, and US 285. Level of service describes the operating conditions of a roadway based on factors such as speed, travel time, maneuverability, delay, and safety. Level of service is measured using the letter grades A, B, C, D, E, and F, with A considered the best operating condition and F considered the worst operating condition. Level of service D has historically been regarded as a desirable design objective in urban areas. However, State Highway 17, Country Club Drive, and US 285 have been evaluated to already be operating at level of service E and F in the peak hour, largely due to the high number of large trucks moving through these intersections. Without improvements, the traffic operations within the corridor are expected to continue to worsen. Long intersection delays result in poor emergency response times, have negative impacts to the economy, decrease safety, and are the source of driver frustration. Moreover, large volumes of heavy oil-filled trucks cause the pavement to deteriorate at a much faster rate. Improving safety is a key goal for this project. The design team conducted a crash analysis for the I-20 corridor to identify locations with safety issues. The heat map shown on this slide depicts the density of crashes of all types between the years 2014 to 2018. Bright orange represents locations with a high crash density, and yellow and gray represent locations with a lower crash density. The black dots indicate the locations of fatal crashes during this 5-year period. As you can see, the areas with the highest crash density are located closely to the town of Pecos City. The crash analysis found that I-20 west of Business 20 has a crash rate 35% higher than the statewide average crash rate. I-20 east of US 285 has a crash rate 37% higher than the statewide average crash rate. Without roadway improvements, these numbers are expected to increase. Now that we have identified the problems, we would like to talk about some of the proposed solutions. I-20's aging infrastructure is in need of updates. This includes rebuilding the main lane and frontage road pavements to accommodate the increased weight and increased volumes of heavy trucks. It also means bringing the facility into compliance with current safety guidelines that have been developed since the interstate was initially constructed. It is proposed to reconstruct both the main lanes and the frontage roads of I-20 starting at 0.3 of a mile west of County Road 419 and ending at 1.5 miles east of County Road 117. The proposed project follows the existing roadway alignment. Approximately 58.2 acres of new right-of-way and approximately 1.6 acres of new easements are proposed. No residential or commercial displacements or relocations are anticipated for the proposed project. If the preliminary schematics identify a need for new right-of-way from your property, please visit TxDOT.gov and enter a keyword search, Landowners' Rights Publications, and download the following items: Landowner's Bill of Rights, State Purchase of Right-of-Way Booklet, Relocation Assistance Booklet. We encourage you to contact a project team member if you have questions about the right-of-way acquisition process. When reconstructing the frontage roads, we are proposing to construct an urban typical section within the urban area of Pecos. The urban area is defined as the portion of the interstate between Business 20 on the west and US 285 on the east. The urban typical section for frontage roads would consist of two 12-foot wide lanes with concrete curb and gutter. Within the urban area, we would propose to construct a shared use path for bicycles and pedestrians on one side of the interstate and a sidewalk for pedestrians on the other side of the interstate. Each intersection would provide a shared use path across the intersection to provide connectivity to the shared use path along the frontage road. The rural typical section for frontage roads would consist of two 12-foot wide lanes and a 10-foot wide shoulder. The rural frontage road section would be constructed west of Business 20 and east of US 285. No pedestrian accommodations are proposed for the rural typical section. Roadway construction is costly, and it is likely that the proposed rebuilding of this 16.5-mile-long project would need to be phased into multiple construction projects and developed over a period of years as funding is identified. This study would help TxDOT identify and prioritize the sections of I-20 which are in more pressing need of repair and/or updating, and then those sections would be proposed to be reconstructed first. Since I-20 was first built, the town of Pecos City and Reeves County have both experienced significant growth and development. With this growth, I-20 needs to be modernized. This project proposes to reconfigure and update 5 interchanges near Pecos, including Business 20, State Highway 17, Country Club Drive, US 285, and County Road 117. Before we describe the planned updates for these 5 intersections, we would like to provide you with some information to help you review the proposals in more detail after you have completed the viewing of this presentation. The next few slides contain a layout of each interchange. With limited time available, this presentation will offer you a brief introduction of the proposals. To review these proposals in more detail, please visit the project website at TxDOT.gov and scroll down the page until you see the word Downloads. There you can click the link to the project layout. You will be able to view these files online, or you can download the files to your desktop. No matter whether you are viewing them on the website or on your desktop, the PDF files will allow you to zoom in and out for a closer look at the detail. The graphic on the screen gives you a comparison of the detail you will see in this slideshow presentation versus the detail you'll be able to see when you zoom in on the PDF documents. When viewing the PDF documents, please use the legend on each exhibit to help you understand the color codes and symbols. If you have trouble opening the files, or if you have difficulty in understanding what is being presented, please contact the project team and we will be glad to talk with you. The first interchange proposed for reconfiguration is I-20 at Business 20. The current interchange is depicted in the red crosshatched shading. This red shading also indicates the pavement that is proposed for removal. This project proposes to flip the intersection and put the I-20 main lanes over Business 20. New one-way frontage roads, shown in green, would be constructed to run parallel to the I-20 main lanes, shown in yellow. Business 20, shown in blue, is proposed to be realigned to form a standard street intersection at I-20. U-turn lanes, shown in purple, are proposed on both sides of Business 20 to make it easy for frontage road traffic to turn around without having to pass through the intersection. Significant improvements are proposed for the State Highway 17 interchange. The proposed reconfiguration of this interchange would be possible because of the proposal to convert the two-way frontage roads to one-way operation. This layout depicts the proposal to extend the I-20 frontage roads, shown here in green, to the west side of State Highway 17, shown in blue, across the Pecos Valley Southern Railroad tracks. This would form 2 at-grade railroad crossings along the frontage road. These at-grade railroad crossings would be protected using flashers and gate assemblies to control vehicular traffic when trains are present. The new north frontage road would be extended all the way to Business 20 to form a continuous westbound frontage road between State Highway 17 and Business 20. Another change is a proposal to remove the I-20 main lane bridges over Industrial Boulevard and to add U-turn lanes, shown in purple, on either side of State Highway 17. Traffic using Industrial Boulevard, which wishes to cross the interstate, would turn right at the new one-way frontage road and then use the U-turn lane at the next intersection to make a turnaround to the opposite one-way frontage road, and then return to Industrial Boulevard on the other side of I-20. The red crosshatch shading indicates existing pavement to be removed. Please note that some segments of the existing frontage roads would be repurposed to provide access to adjacent businesses which currently adjoin the existing frontage roads. These repurposed local access roads are shown in dark green shading. Key changes to the I-20 interchange at Country Club Drive include lengthening the I-20 bridge span, shown here in pink, over Country Club, shown in blue, to allow for additional lanes on Country Club. Today, the existing bridge span only allows for 2 lanes of traffic on Country Club, while the widened span would allow for side-by-side left turn lanes and 2 through lanes in each direction, accommodating more traffic to safely and efficiently pass through the intersection. The new I-20 bridges would also accommodate U-turn lanes, shown in purple, on either side of Country Club to allow frontage road traffic to turn around without passing through the intersection. Furthermore, the profile of I-20 would be raised to increase the vertical clearance to meet new guidelines. The red crosshatch shading indicates existing frontage road pavement to be removed. Please note the segment of the existing frontage road, shown in dark green, on the north side of I-20 between Country Club and the alley west of Eddy Street. This segment would be repurposed to provide local access to adjacent homes. Today, these homes have driveway access directly to the existing 2-way frontage road. With the proposed improvements, these homes would use the local access road to reach Eddy Street and then use Meadowbrook Drive to reach Country Club Drive. These proposed improvements would greatly improve the safety and mobility at this intersection. The next interchange proposed for reconfiguration would be I-20 at US 285. This project proposes to flip the intersection and put I-20 over US 285. Everything shown in red crosshatch shading would be removed, and the new one-way frontage roads, shown in green, would run parallel to the I-20 main lanes, shown in yellow. US 285, shown in blue, would be at ground level with standard frontage road intersections on either side of the interstate main lanes. U-turn lanes, shown in purple, would be added on each side of US 285 to allow frontage road traffic to turn around without having to pass through the intersection. Today, the existing 2-way frontage roads terminate at the west side of US 285. This project proposes to build one-way frontage roads east of US 285 to connect to County Road 117. In the upper left-hand corner of this slide, we have highlighted a future proposed extension of Olive Street by others. The City of Pecos is evaluating alternatives for a possible extension of Olive Street across I-20. However, this street extension is not a part of this I-20 project and would be funded by the city as a separate project. The next interchange to be reconfigured would be I-20 at County Road 117. This project proposes to flip the intersection and put I-20 over Collie Road. Like the improvements at US 285, everything shown in red crosshatched shading would be removed, and the new one-way frontage roads, shown in green, would be constructed parallel to the I-20 main lanes, shown in yellow. County Road 117 would be at ground level with standard frontage road intersections on either side of the I-20 main lanes. U-turn lanes, shown in purple, would be added on each side of Collie Road, shown in blue, to allow frontage road traffic to turn around without having to pass through the intersection. As mentioned previously, there are currently no frontage roads between US 285 and County Road 117, but this project proposes to build new frontage roads to connect US 285 to County Road 117. For the existing 2-way frontage roads to be effectively converted to one-way operation, frequent turnaround locations are needed to prevent drivers from having to drive extensive distances to make a U-turn. The distance between Business 20 and State Highway 17 is basically 2 miles. This project proposes to build a new interchange at Evergreen Street, which would be located halfway between Business 20 and State Highway 17, placing the three interchanges 1 mile apart. A new interchange at Evergreen Street would provide improved access to the Greenwood Cemetery and the Reeves County Detention Complex. Moreover, it provides a convenient U-turn location for the proposed one-way frontage roads between Business Interstate 20 and State Highway 17. This new interchange would elevate the I-20 main lanes, shown in yellow, over the new intersection at Evergreen Street, shown in blue. This new interchange would include U-turn lanes, shown in purple, to make it easy for frontage road traffic to turn around. On the north side of I-20, we have highlighted a future street to be constructed by others. Should the City of Pecos or Reeves County decide to build a street connection on the north side of this new interchange, the proposed pavement on Evergreen would be wide enough to accommodate 2 lanes northbound and 2 lanes southbound, with a left turn lane in each direction. A new street connection on the north side of the interstate would provide direct access between I-20 and Business 20 through the industrial area north of the interstate. This street connection is not proposed as a part of this project, but would be funded by the city or the county as a separate project. The frontage roads along I-20 through Pecos are discontinuous with gaps located at 2 locations. This project proposes to complete those gaps in order to provide continuous frontage roads through the entire corridor. A proposed westbound frontage road would be constructed along the north side of I-20 between Business 20 and State Highway 17. Eastbound and westbound frontage roads would be constructed along each side of I-20 between US 285 and County Road 117. Completion of these gaps in the frontage road system would improve mobility and safety through Pecos by providing alternate routes for emergency services when incidents occur on the I-20 main lanes. The proposed frontage roads would also provide improved local access for local traffic not wishing to use the I-20 main lanes. All of the current entrance and exit ramps within the I-20 corridor are configured in a diamond ramp pattern. Diamond ramp configurations work very well at lower volume interchanges, but can have issues in higher volume urban interchanges. This project seeks to improve accessibility and safety at the higher volume interchanges by converting diamond ramps to X-ramp configurations. The limits of the proposed X-ramp conversion extend from the east side of County Road 408 to the west side of US 285. Outside of these limits, it is proposed to maintain the current diamond ramp configurations. To help explain the differences between a diamond ramp and an X-ramp configuration, we will use this diagram which depicts a freeway with 2 interchanges. For the purpose of discussion, we will call the intersecting roads A Street and B Street. You will note that the on-ramps and off-ramps are configured in a diamond ramp pattern as highlighted by the yellow shading at B Street, which illustrates the 4 ramps form the basic shape of a diamond. In this configuration, the off-ramps are located immediately before each cross street, and the on-ramps are located immediately after each cross street. Now compare the top diagram to the bottom diagram, which depicts a freeway with the ramps configured in an X-ramp pattern. This is highlighted by the yellow shading at B Street, which illustrates how the ramp configuration forms an X. With the X-ramp configuration, the locations for the on and off ramps are reversed from the diamond ramp pattern. The off ramps are located immediately after the cross street, and the on ramps are located immediately before the cross street. The X-ramp configuration would resolve one issue experienced on diamond ramps, which is at certain peak traffic times, the traffic exiting from the interstate to the cross street begins to back up down the exit ramp and stacks up onto the interstate main lanes. The X-ramp configuration avoids this by taking traffic off of the main lanes approximately 1/2 to 3/4 miles prior to the intersection, which provides longer storage links along the frontage road and helps avoid traffic backups onto the main lanes. X-ramp configurations are more efficient at managing traffic flows at key junctions, thus maximizing operational performance at the interchange, improving safety, and enhancing mobility. This slide illustrates the proposed X-ramp layout for the proposed State Highway 17 interchange. To reach State Highway 17, traffic on westbound I-20 would exit just west of Country Club Drive, and traffic on eastbound I-20 would exit just east of the new Evergreen Street interchange. This layout depicts another proposed improvement for this project, which is the addition of an auxiliary lane along the I-20 main lanes. An auxiliary lane is proposed to be placed on the main lanes between on-ramps and off-ramps to allow drivers a safe way to merge into traffic while also preventing bottlenecks caused by drivers attempting to enter or exit the freeway directly from a through lane. Similarly, an auxiliary lane is proposed along the I-20 frontage roads between off-ramps and on-ramps. The Texas Freight Mobility Plan requires TxDOT to develop a bridge reconstruction and replacement program to address deficient bridges, increase vertical clearance to 18 feet 6 inches to accommodate oversized overweight vehicles and military transportation needs, and to facilitate the efficient movement of people and goods. This project will serve as a mechanism for reconstructing the bridges on I-20 in Reeves County. While this guideline does not apply to freight corridor overpasses, this project will evaluate the feasibility and benefits of raising overpasses to meet the new 18 feet 6 inch requirement, as it would benefit the oil and gas industry of Reeves County by providing multiple crossing locations for high-load vehicles to cross under I-20. This slide depicts the locations of overpasses which have not been previously discussed in this presentation, which will be evaluated for raising the vertical profile of I-20 to provide the higher vertical clearance. The photograph at the bottom right side of this slide shows the I-20 overpass at County Road 408, which has a vertical clearance of 15 feet 7 inches. This project will evaluate increasing the vertical clearance at this and other locations to a minimum of 16 feet 6 inches and possibly to the higher 18 feet 6 inches. One of the biggest changes this project proposes to make to the I-20 corridor in Reeves County is to convert the existing two-way frontage roads to one-way operation. This project seeks to convert approximately 16 miles of two-way frontage roads to one-way operation. Limits of the proposed conversion are between County Road 419 and a new grade separation proposed for construction at Brazos Midstream Road, which is located approximately 1 mile east of County Road 117. The roadway typical section on this slide depicts the existing two-way operation of the frontage roads. This two-way arrangement creates a conflict point at every entrance and exit ramp. As vehicles enter or exit the I-20 main lanes, drivers face a head-on condition with frontage road traffic traveling in the opposite direction of ramp traffic. Converting frontage roads to one-way greatly reduces the opportunity for head-on accidents. The one-way operation is depicted in the bottom typical section. Drivers can exit or enter the I-20 main lanes much more safely and efficiently since the frontage road traffic and main lane traffic are headed in the same direction. One-way frontage roads also offer a safer design to handle the increasing traffic loads. To help make the conversion successful for adjacent local businesses and residents, this project offers the following design features: U-turn lanes at every grade-separated intersection to provide for quick and safe turnarounds, one-way continuous frontage roads, as this project would fill in the gaps in the current frontage road system through Pecos, reconstructed and improved interchanges and cross streets, an additional interchange at Evergreen Street between Business 20 and State Highway 17, and reconfigured ramps to support one-way frontage roads. With any project receiving federal funds, TxDOT is required to evaluate the potential environmental consequences of the proposed project. The environmental review process we follow is in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process results in documentation that is provided to decision makers so they have all the data needed to make an informed decision if the project should proceed. In December 2014, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that allows TxDOT to assume some responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration to review and approve certain assigned NEPA projects. In December 2019, this memorandum was renewed. The review and approval process apply to this project. In short, TxDOT will follow all state and federal laws to identify and review potential solutions for long-term safety and mobility improvements on the I-20 corridor in Reeves County. As we evaluate the various proposals to improve safety and mobility through infrastructure construction, our project team will be identifying and studying environmental constraints on or adjacent to the I-20 corridor. Constraints include vegetation, threatened and endangered species, water resources, archaeological resources, historic resources, hazardous materials, community impacts, and public involvement. The proposed roadway improvements would be designed to avoid or minimize impacts to the natural and human environments. On the virtual public meeting webpage, you can view the environmental constraints map that we have prepared. The legend on the exhibit will assist you in understanding the colors and symbols. The constraints and features were obtained through use of federal, state, and local resources, including review of aerial photography and agency databases and maps. We welcome you to review our constraints map online and let us know if we have missed something important. The process to identify, design, fund, and construct long-term safety and mobility solutions for the I-20 corridor takes several steps and would cover a period of years. We are in step 1, which is the very beginning of the process. We are preparing an environmental study and a preliminary roadway design known as a schematic. The earliest date when we might anticipate for this project or portions of this project to move into step 2 would be towards the end of 2021 or 2022. For a project to move into steps 2 and 3, construction funding must be identified. Currently, this project has no construction funding identified with which to implement the proposed improvements. Since this is such a large project, it is likely the project would be split into several smaller projects that would then individually move into the next steps of design and construction. In design, TxDOT would advance the preliminary schematic design into a final design that is ready for construction. Within step 2, additional activity occurs such as right-of-way acquisition and utility adjustments. This effort can take approximately 2 or 3 years for each identified project, sometimes even longer. Finally, upon approval to move to construction, each individually phased project can take up to 2 to 3 years for completion. TxDOT is committed to continuing our efforts to gain public feedback about this project. We'd like to know what's missing from our maps and initial data collection. What do we need to know more about? Listed on this slide are some of the items we'd like to hear more about from you. However, your comments are not limited to these subjects, as we welcome you to provide us with any comment you may have about the corridor or our proposed improvements. Additionally, let us know if you'd like to join our mailing list. Now we would like to explain the ways you can comment on this project. Step 1 is for you to review our proposed improvements for I-20. Please visit the virtual public meeting webpage by going to TxDOT.gov, keyword search I-20 Reeves County. On the webpage, scroll down to the Downloads section. You will be able to click on each item and review it online, or you can download it to your computer. Please feel free to download and review the materials at your convenience. Step 2 is for you to provide your comments or ask your questions. You can comment in the following ways. Click on the SurveyMonkey link on the TxDOT website and complete your comments online. The SurveyMonkey address is also shown on this slide. Or you can email us at gabriel.ramirez@txdot.gov. Or you can download our online comment form and complete it by hand and mail us your written comments using the U.S. Postal Service. Address your comments to Gabriel Ramirez, TxDOT Odessa District, 3901 East Highway 80, Odessa, Texas 79761. Comments can be made throughout the comment period between December 3rd to December 18th. To be a part of the official meeting record, your comments must be postmarked or received by December 18th at midnight. Comments and questions are welcome to be submitted after the comment period ends on December 18th, but the comments will not be included in the official public record. From this point, TxDOT will take the input we receive from you and will provide a written response to each comment received or postmarked by midnight on December 18th. This will be documented in the public meeting summary. Should you have a question or comment during or after the comment period and would like to speak to a member of the design team, please call 432-498-4645. We are always open to discussing this project and any concern or comment you may have. As we continue in the project development process, we will continue to refine the design with consideration given to the comments you provide. We appreciate your time in viewing this information. This concludes the presentation. The summary will be available for viewing at this website and should be available within a few months.